guess things were different than today. You think of the Makola day, we put money into your account.
I thought that in those days it was very hard not to keep money at home because you didn't have safes and how did you get through? So you want to put money not just that he can lock it up. You're going to keep money at home.
Gemar Toiv, where are we holding?
I didn't.
Oh.
I just did a Chazar on the Mishnah.
Chazar in the Mishnah. All right.
Did you break your fast yet?
Barely. It's a tremendous Kiddush Hashem Rabbi Yisai to come Motzei Yom Kippur. I don't know about you, but most likely, some of you have headaches, tired.
Downstairs, the basement is just full of Yungala.
Really? So we have no excuse. We have no excuse. Did any of you have a chance to learn today?
Yes.
Could you imagine preparing a shir today? And on Kinim.
Of course. In Urba, you had a 5 hour break.
If you get up at 4 in the morning, yeah. Okay. All right. Ki also Rav Dimi Omar. We're holding Daf Chafal from the Beis Gemara. Maishna Reishu, Maishna Seifa. Why is it, as Menachem so eloquently explained now, what did you just explain? Say Nachamal.
About if he has one coin.
You have one coin left.
One pruta.
If a person says that there's a pruta in his wallet, somewhere it's hegdish. So the machlokes if it becomes hegdish right away, or do we say that all the way at the end, the last one is hegdish? So the Gemara, Maishna Reishu, Maishna Seifa. Omar lei Seifa ba'omer. It's as if he said lo yipater kizeh min hegdish. So the Gemara says there's an interesting lashon. There's a possibility where a person says a lashon where he's saying, I want to use this money, but I'm not going to get out of giving something to hegdish. Meaning, his kavana is that it should not be hegdish until all the way at the end. So basically, he used a lashon which tells me that everything is not hegdish besides the last pruta. Kiyasa Rav and Omar. I should have brought my Masifta actually. I'll use yours. Kiyasa Rav and Omar kisin ashavarim romalei. No, Rish Lakish never had a question in our Mishnah. That was pasha to him that it's going with some sort of lashon that is mashma, that it's the last pruta that becomes hegdish and the rest is not hegdish. So where did he have a problem? He had a problem on a sharp. This not oimer echad mishvara hegdish. One of my shvarim is hegdish. Hoyli shnayim hagol shabem hegdish. Why the nice one? Why?
You get a nice thing to have.
Oh, right. A magdish bayin yof and magdish. So we have to assume that when a person says one of my oxen and he has two, he meant the larger one. So what's the kasha? What's the kasha, Menachem? So if a person says one of my shvarim is hegdish, we assume that there's some sort of breira, basically. So, but if we assume that a person is magdish bayin yafa. So how come Rebbe Akiva is more than the Seifa? How come Rebbe Akiva says in the Seifa that only the last pruta is hegdish? In our Mishnah, like we said, that's where we come onto this teretz that it depends when the person says. In our Mishnah, it's like he said, specifically that the last pruta, he wants to keep everything not hegdish, and the last one should be hegdish. Well, the kasha wasn't on shvarim. Now we're holding the Chav Beis Amud Aleph. It's confusing. The Chav Beis Amud Aleph of Meila, not of Kinim. This now, what's the question? If a person buys wine from Kusim. Now Kusim, we're going to go according to the Mandama that says Kusim are Geri Emes. They're real Gerim, so you're allowed to buy wine from them. Although in Avodah Zarah we already say that you can't buy wine, but that was later on. What is he saying? What is your?
Before it was necessary.
Yeah, actually Nasa Yenam. Because later on there's a Gzeira against the Kusim forever. From that point on. So what happens? You're in a situation where you need to use the wine. You want to use the wine. Let's say it's Shabbos. Let's say you don't have whatever it is. You're stuck. So there's a way out of it. There's a way to drink the wine right now without being mafresh anything. You say Shnei Lugim. So we're talking about a guy that bought 100 lug. To make it very simple, we're going to go by hundreds. We're going to round everything off. So you bought 100. So how much truma do you give out of 100? Usually you give 2%. So he's going to set aside 2% of truma. Shnei lugim shani os la'afresh harein truma. Asara meiser rishon. How much meiser do you give? After you now that you're left with 98 lugim, you give 10%, which is 9.8. So asara meiser rishon. He sets aside 10 lugim for meiser. He says in his head he's going to give 10. Now Tisha meiser sheni. In the years 1, 2, 4, 5 of meiser sheni, you do meiser sheni. How much? Tisha meiser sheni. You left with, I don't know how many you left with. 90, berach 90, yeah, a little less. So he gives 9 for meiser sheni. Umeichal, and he's meichal b'shoyse miyad. He's able to drink it right away. So over here you see the concept of yesh breira. What does yesh breira mean? All the way at the end, whenever he drinks now, he's not drinking from meiser, he's not drinking from truma. Whenever he feels like giving it, he gave it out. And Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Shimon say that there is no concept of breira. Why not? In our Mishnah we see that it's not a problem. A guy says, I'm going to give 1 pruta from his wallet. He could use all the money all the way to the end, and all the way at the end, the last pruta, that's what's hegdish. So you see the concept of breira by us. So in our mission it's different because he says specifically, I want to use the entire wallet, all the money, until I get to the end. And with that, I'm going to miss Me'ilah very, very much. No. We should do the whole Hadron? We're going to do a seam right now on the spot, and we're going to break it on water. There's nothing better than water, Matzi. Hadron aloch mesechus milo v'hadron aloch v'hadron chalon. Daitan aloch mesechus milo v'daito chalon lo yinish shemiloch mesechus milo v'lo yinish sheminon lo yiba'am odein v'lo yiba'am adasi. Hadron aloch mesechus milo v'hadron chalon. Daitan aloch mesechus milo v'daito chalon lo yinish shemiloch mesechus milo v'lo yinish sheminon lo yiba'am odein v'lo yiba'am adasi. Hadron aloch mesechus milo v'hadron chalon. Daitan aloch mesechus milo v'daito chalon lo yinish shemiloch mesechus milo v'lo yinish sheminon lo yiba'am odein v'lo yiba'am adasi. Yotzim v'fanech hadinoi lehin v'layavasenu shtei teroskum v'nesenu b'levazeu siyimonu le'lam haba. Chanin b'papa, Rami b'papa, Nachman b'papa, Achoy b'papa, B'mori b'papa, Rafim b'papa, Rochel b'papa, V'sucha b'papa, Had b'papa, B'dor b'papa. Hav n'adin is divir say also b'finu b'fi Sam Rabbi Yisrael v'nei kulan achim tzatzer v'tzatzei Am Rabbi Yisrael. Kulan yedei shemach v'lem so Yisrael moed chakmein v'tzatzach ki lo'elam hili b'som m'chukecha l'man lo yevoish. Lo yim l'ayik sh'chukecha givam chisani b'chata adin lo'elam nei chukecha. Amen, amen, amen. Sel b'oed. וידעים אנחנו לבנוך הדינוי אלוהינו ולעשינו ששמנו חכינו ביישוב ביס המדרש ושמנו חכינו ביישוב קרונוש שונים משקים והם משקים אנו משקים בדברי תוירו ומשקים בדבר בתהילים. Sometimes we get up late at night and we go to learn. אנו המיילים ואינם המיילים אנו המיילים ומקם סוחה ואם המיילים ואינם מקם סוחה אנו רוצים ואם רוצים או רוצים חיים למבוא ואם רוצים לשחש שאינם מהתועלים תראים לשחש שאנשיתום ומירם ליחסו ימי ואני אדר בוך רוצים לפנוך הדינוי אלוהי כשם שזאת נסיים מסכת מילו, כן תעזרים להס, מסכת ספור מחים נסיים ללמוד לעם לשמור ולעשויס. ולקיים מסכות דברי שמו תרסר באהבו. וזכו סקלת הנועים והמרואים וסרמית החכום ים לי לזרי של תומש שתור מפי ומפי זרי וזר זרי. אדון סקיים בי בסלך תן חוי סוח ושוח בחדש מעליך וקיצוי סייסי שיחך כי ביר בימך יום מביסית ולכש נסחיים בימינו בשמאל לשבחו אדינוי זלמיתין אדינוי יברך סמי והשלום. יזכדי שמי רבו, ואומדוס לשחדוסו לחיים מסעוד הסוג יסון לחיול לבני כבדו ישרים לשחלו לחילוי בגבו ומגע בכל נבחו מנהרון לעשות בכל נשמע להסחב ימליך קודשו בריחום במחוסי וכי יכולים וכי דחו בייס ישראל בהגלו בזמן קוריב אמרו אמן יהי שמי רבו מבורך לעולם אומר אומיו יסבורך וישתבח ויספור ויסרומה ויסנסה ויסדור ויסעלה ויסעלול שמי דקודשו בריחו לילה מקום רסו ושיר רסות ושברסו ולכם רסות אמרם בלמוב אמרו אמן הישראל והרבנו מעט תלמידי סמידי מקום מנדורס כמו ירייסו תבאס כל קדישו די מדי בכל עשר ועשר יהי לו הוי ללכון של מרב בוכין וחיס ברח ממחין ירחין ובזון רביך ובכל מקום בשמי והרוב אמרו אמן יש לו מרב בשמי וחיים עלינו והכל ישראל אמרו אמן ויעשה שלום אמרו ויעשה שלום עלינו והכל ישראל אמרו אמן next מסכתו no we gotta go weiter start new video nah same daf same
Why is it from base
that's the way they did it
One and the best of Aleph 2.
Yeah.
It's the only place in Shas.
second place isn't Talmud like that also no all right so one a very very unique daf in Shas only place in Shas where there's a Chav Beis Masechta starts in the middle of Masechta there's another place like that the next Masechta in 3 daf next two Masechtas
Like the same thing?
but this is the only Masechta and the only daf in the world that there's an A and B there's Chav Beis Aleph and Chav Beis Beis
It's one of the few Daf Yomi which is in Shas.
yeah and for some reason it's part of Shas they stuck that in many years ago nothing to do with the Rabbi Shapiro this is part of regular Shas not all Mishnayos is Zoicha we're learning Masechtas Kinim Kinim is one of the tougher ones it's only 3.5 daf the Mishnah in Ava says that I forgot the Lashon but Hein Gufei Halachas Kinim and Nida are Gufei Halachas Rashi explains don't think there's just mathematics and some cheshbonos, but there's gufei halachas. There's a lot of pshat what it means. As is typical for the Gemara, it starts off nice and easy, works our way in, and by the time tomorrow, I'm not sure. It's not that tomorrow is much more difficult than today, and Erev Shabbos is going to be givaldik. There's a lot of chiburim. You could be ma'ayin over there. Zok the Mishnah. Chatas ha'oif nasis lematon. The chatos of a bird is done on the bottom of the mizbeach, below the chut hasikra. Smack in the middle of the mizbeach, there's a red line, and the whole, the avodah, but the zrikas adam is done below the red line. The chatas behemo lemalon, and this is where they take the phrase above the red line and below the red line. No. The chatas behemo lemalon. Oilas ha'oif, there's a black line, a red line. Oilas ha'oif nasis lamal. Now, the Mefarish and other Rishonim, the Mefarish says this, the Mefarish and other Rishonim say something similar, but basically, if you want to remember, so there's oilas ha'oif lemala, ayin ayin. There's a lot of ayins over here, and that ayin ayin means lemala. In the lemala, there's an ayin, so if you want to remember where, in a few years from now, if you want to remember where the oilas ha'oif is, because we learned it extensively, and I already forgot when we were learning it, and I forgot where it was. I didn't have this, not that I'll remember this one, but you guys will remember. Oilas oif lemala. Ayin lemala. Chatos, with the tes. Lemato, tes, is lemato. Tes. Chatos is lemato. Oila, ayin is lemala. Okay, that's how you remember. Memela. If I tell you that the oilas oif is lemala, so where's the oilas behema? Lamato. So you reverse it. Chatas oif nasis lamato v'chatas behema le malo. Oilas oif nasis lemalo. The oila bird you do above the red line. V'oilas behema lemato. V'im shino b'zeh b'zeh pasul. So the Mishnah is telling us, we're starting off the Masechta, letting us know that if you change. And this halach is important to the entire Masechta, because the whole Masechta basically is telling us what happens if one of these birds gets mixed up with other birds, and the main issue is that you can't take a chatas bird and perform this rika above the red line. It's also, and you can't do this you can't do that to oila below the red line. So Memela, if you have a mix-up, you can't just say, well, I don't care what it is, then I'll just do it above the red line. What if it's a chatos? And that's the halacha right here. If you changed and you did below the red line to something that needs to be above the red line, it's possible. Seder Kinim Kachu. What's Kinim? Kinim is a pair. Okay? Kinim is a pair.
That's what the word means.
A ken is a pair. Kinim is two pair.
Ken is a nest.
A ken is a nest, okay. But a ken is two. Kinim is plural, so before. When a woman, a zav, zava, yeledes, nazir, korban olav, all these things that you have to bring, birds, if it's a chayva, one of the birds is a chatos, one of the birds is a oila. That would be a ken. One ken you have to bring, one is a oila, one is a chatos. In kinim, and that causes all the fun, is that there's a sasam and mefurish. Mefurish means the person said, I want the one on the right to be a chatos, it looks kind of nice and juicy, there'll be a little bit meat left over for the kohen. I want the one on the right to be the chatos. And I want the one on the left to be an oila. That's mefurish, great. There's also sasam, where the kohen decides, by the kohen being makriv, one of them, either for an oila, so then when he's makriv the oila, the second one automatically becomes a chatos. If he's makriv the chatos, and he says, I'm being makriv the chatos now, then the second one becomes an oila. So that's sasam. I don't know what it is. And I could decide later on which one is what. Seder Kinim Kachu. Ha'choiva echod chatos v'echod oila. If a person must bring a set of birds, b'choiva, for whatever the reason is, a zav and a zava, for instance, yeledes, so one is a chatos, one is oila. It also applies b'nedarim and b'nedavos, kulam oilos. Now, obviously, I cannot bring a chatos as an oila, as a nedava. I can't say I want to bring a chatos just because I feel like it. I can bring a chatos if I did an avera, or if I'm a zav or something. But I can't just bring it just stop. An oila, if I want to bring a bird as an nedava, it must be kulan oilos. So if I have a ken, which is two, and it's a nedava, then both of them are oilos. Eiz neder, we had this 1,000 times already. What's a neder? Ha'omer harei olai oila. Veiz nedava ha'omer harei zu oila. It's the big difference. A person says this specific bird is an oila, because if this specific bird drops dead, I don't owe anything. But if I say harei olai oila, I obligate myself to bring an oila, then I'm mechuyev to bring an oila if this bird dies. Ma ben nedarim nedavos al shan nedarim meisu oy nignevu chayev b'achar yusam. If they get lost, you are responsible. Nedavos meisu oy nignevu ein chayev b'achar yusam. And now we go to Chav Beis, Omid Beis in Kinim. Zog the Mishnah. Are we running out of water?
Well, the first continue.
That's all we have for the ganze Shir? I'll take from the sink, I don't care. Is the air conditioner on? Yeah, okay. I'll take this thing off.
It was working fine before.
Before you turned it off.
Well, we left.
Did you turn it off?
About 2 weeks ago.
And then what? What do you think
It's out of practice.
Just not.
Alright, Zok the Mishnah.
Oh, we don't have any control.
Is this the only time you finish the Masechta and a parak in one day?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Or finish the Masechta and a parak in one day?
And start the new Masechta one day is also very rare. No, we're going to do it again this week. We have the schus of doing it again.
Masechta and a parak?
Oh, yeah. So no, that I don't know. Yeah, finish the parak. What else do we do? There's a lot of firsts.
We have to see.
It's going to be the first time that we're finishing a whole Masechta in 3 days. All right, and that the Masechta starts in the middle of Daf Chav Beis, a new Masechta. It's a lot of firsts. Okay. But now with all the excitement, we have to get a little serious here. It's not hard yet. It's actually, once you know it, and I'm not saying I do, because it was the middle of Ne'ilah and stuff when I was learning it, but I think once you get the concept, it's okay. Geschmack hot water. I love it. Chatos shenis arva ba'oila. Okay, so now a chatos got mixed up with an oila. So what do? You do nothing. Why? Because you don't know what to do. You have one bird that's a oila, one bird's a chatos. If you're going to perform everything above the red line, you got a big problem. Va'oila shenis arva b'chatos afilu echad b'riboy. Wow, riboy is 10,000. If you have 10,000 oila birds and one chatos, or the reverse, 10,000 chatos and one oila, they're all garbage. Why? Because what are you going to do? You're going to take one bird. Maybe it's the chatos bird that you're taking in your hand, and you bring it above the red line, and that's also. Now, what about bittul b'roiv? 1 in 10,000. That's why the Mishnah uses this word, riboy, 10,000. The Mishnah could have said 10, 20. The Mishnah is telling you there is no roiv, there's no bittul b'roiv. Why? Because you're not mevatel a balchai like that. It has chashivas. A bird is choshem, he cannot be mevatel. Afilu echol beriba, even 1 in 10,000. Yomusu kulam. That's it. They're goners. Chatos shenish arva b'choiva. Now I have a pair of birds that we don't know what they are. The sasum. They could be either or. But one of them is a oila, one of them is a chatos. They're not defined yet. And then a chatos comes along and gets mixed into it. And that's the theme of the whole Masechta. We got this lovely bird, and you know what? It was so common. Birds like to fly, and they like to jump around into different boxes, and that's why you have a lot of issues. Especially when you have women handling them. The women are bringing these chatos as you let this, and she has 4, she wants to bring more, and in the kitzur, she starts grabbing these 2, the other 2 fly that way, they go to her friend. You have a lot of issues. And that's why we have this wonderful Masechta. By the way, this Masechta is a lot of people's favorite Masechta, especially people that like math. Is it your favorite Masechta? No. But you like math. The mathematician guys, they love this stuff. Numbers, anything with nuts, great. Okay. Chadash and Isarva b'oila. So where are we holding? Chadash and Isarva b'choiva. Ein kosher el keminyas chatois b'choiva. So we have to remember this halacha. It's very important for the rest of the Masechta. If you have, I think I was actually able to print this out. Believe it or not, I made it home, and with 5 minutes, I got a couple texts from one person. I don't know why. He wanted to know if I was coming, but I'm trying to print someone. So, anyways, here's your chatos, your white bird. This is from the Masifta. Here's your chatos. It flew in. It got mixed up. They're all the same color, by the way. Just for the purpose of demonstration here on the paper, they made a different color so you understand what's going on. This guy is the suffix that flew in, and you have a pair, a ken. Calling this a ken. Every ken consists of an ayin and a ches, a oil and a chatos. And another chatos came and flew in. We don't know what's what. Now they all got mixed in, they all have the same color. They all turn white. What do? So you could, since the chatos is what flew in, you could shecht one bird as a chatos. That's it. One bird. Why one bird? Because we have one pair. One pair consists of one chatos. If you have 5 pairs and one chatos flew in, so you could shecht 5 chatos birds. What's the point? The point is very simple. If you go over what the pair is, this is the simplest case. One pair. So you take one chatas from this pair and you shecht it. What happens if you shecht the second one? Maybe you're shechting, because, okay, let's think time out. When the kohen shechts this bird, forget about this bird for a second. When the kohen shechts this chatas, it's a sasum. We don't know which one is what. Comes the kohen along and he shechts the one on the right and he says that's a chatas. What happens that second? The one over here becomes an oila. Once he becomes an oila, you can't shecht another bird as a chatas, because maybe you're shechting this oila. You don't know where the oila is. The oila could be here, the oila could be here. Since you have that confusion, you stop right there. Now, if you have 5 of these, it's the same exact situation. You shecht 5 chatois, then 5 oilas become known that they're oilas, and that's why you can't shecht the 6th one, because the 6th one might be an oila.
Is the pair already designated?
All the pairs were designated, but without designation to them. Without. You don't know which oil or chatas. The kohen decides.
And they got all mixed up. The last one got mixed up.
It's decide. He could. Well,
Extra bird.
you could decide before if you feel like it. No, you could decide before. We're talking about a case where the lady didn't decide before. She gave it up to. She let it to the kohen. Once the kohen decides, how does he decide? By shechting it. Then the others become. Now I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure I'm right that they only become designated as oilos, the chatas. If you have 5 sets, the kohen has to go through all 5, shecht all 5 chatos, then the oilos become known as oilos. Okay? Now, if you have 5 oilos, 5 chatos, and 1 bad guy that flew away from his owner, he messes it up for the other oilos. You can't shecht more than 5 chatos. Says the Mishnah, Chatos shenis orva b'choiva ein kosher elo kiminyan chatois sheb'choiva. As many pairs as you have, that's how many chatos you could shecht, not including the extra one that flew in from somewhere else. You can't shecht that one. Well, you don't know which one that is, but you can't count for it. You can only count for the amount of chatos that you have. If you have 1 pair, you could shecht one bird as a chatos. That's it. The rest, bye-bye. You can't shecht the rest as oilus either. Why? You don't know if they're oilus. Maybe the chatos. There's a mix-up here. Ein kosher elo kiminyan oilus shebechoiva. Bein shechoiva meruba unedava muetes. I don't care if there's a lot of sets of birds that are coming for very specific things. There's 5 women that gave birth, or whatever it is, and unidava muetes, and there's 1 nidava. It doesn't matter. Bein shanidava meruba v'choiva muetes bein sheshteim shavos. The bottom line is, again, so just to chazer over to make sure that we get this first easy concept. If we have 2 birds that a woman brought, and it's not designated, either one could be a oila, either one could be a chatos. And then a chatos flew in from somewhere else, and now you have 3 birds, and if you know the pigeons in the neighborhood, you barely could tell what they are. Although, somebody in Shul pointed out to me that there's a nice thing going on in front of Bnei Yeshivas. There's somebody that stands by the front window, I'm not going to say who, but he likes looking. There's like a pond, because the air conditioner goes right there, and there's a whole matzav going on. The birds come and they fly and they fight, and it's a lot of fun during davening. So when he showed it to me, I noticed that there were a couple pigeons that you could tell, like one is white, one is, but in general, our pigeons, they all have the same color, so there's no way to tell the difference, right? So memela, I could take 1 out of the 3, shecht it as a chatos, and that's it. Why 1 out of the 3? Because I have 1 pair. If I had 2 pairs, how many birds would I have total? 5. So how many can I shecht total? 2. Because I have 2 pairs, I can shecht 2. If I have 6 pairs, so how many do I have total? 13. So how many can I shecht total? 6. That's it. Why? Because I'm shechting, once I pass 6, now I have to be worried that perhaps I'm hitting an oila. I'm going to be bringing an oila instead of the chatos that I'm thinking is the extra bird. Why can't I bring an oila? Let me bring oila. I shechted 6 oilas, 6 chatos, and now I have 6 oilas left over because I still have 1 chatos that flew in there, and I don't know, so I can't bring any oilas. No more oilas, no oilas because perhaps it's a chatos, and no more chatos because it's perhaps an oila. So 7 birds have to be killed. They die. 6 birds go on the mizbeach, 6 birds die. 7 birds die. Mishnah Gimel. By the way, no Gemara here. But believe me, no need for Gemara for this Masechta. B'med var mamurim, b'choiva u'b'nedava. So what we said until now is when you have a nedava, this chatos, somebody, well, b'choiva u'b'nedava. Either we have a pair of choiva, or nedava. Let's say you have two pairs, two women brought 2 birds each, and the pairs got mixed up. Now what do? You have 2 chatois, 2 oilers. So what do? What?
Wouldn't matter.
You mean let the kohen do whatever he wants?
Yeah,
Let's see. Because I'll tell you why. It matters very much. If you have 4 birds right now in a box, the kohen shechs 1. What did he say it is? A chatos. Then he shechted the second one. He said it's a chatos. Maybe he shechted the same woman's 2 birds. She brought 2 and she brought 2. They're for sure Rachel's, 2 are Rachel's, 2 are Leah's.
2 birds or 2 pairs?
2 birds, 1 pair each. Depends. Here, the Mishnah says, Achas lezu v'lezu. 1 pair for this woman, 1 pair that. Shtayim lezu, shtayim lezu. Or 2 pairs each. Shalosh lezu, shalosh lezu. What do? Mechza kosher u'mechza pasol. All I could do is shecht half of what I have.
As what?
Yeah, as both. One each. So if you have 3 pairs, no, you have 4 pairs, a total of 8 birds. So you take 4 of those birds, 2 chatos, 2 oila. That's it. Any more than that, we're already going into, perhaps I am using a woman's, I'm taking extra chatos from one lady.
You have 8 birds.
I took 4. I took 4 out of the 8. 2 oila, 2 are chatos. If I do 3 oila, maybe I'm taking a chatos from that woman and I'm making it into oila.
And have either of them offered anything? Has one offered an ola, one is...
Yeah. 2 out of the 4 are oilos, 2 out of the 4 are chatos. You have a box of 8, you give it to the kohen, they all got mixed in. You say, what do I do?
Same, right? A box of 8, I mean 4 people bought.
No. 2 people brought 8.
2 people bought 2.
2 people doubled up. They said, let's bring 2. Or 3. Mechza kosher u'mechza pasol. Achas lezu u'shtayim lezu. Okay, let me ask you without looking inside. If you have 1 pair from one woman and 2 pairs from another woman, what should I do? What? Only 1. Because anything above that, maybe I'm taking from that woman, and I'm from that one woman, she's in charge now. We have to be worried about her. She has the least amount of birds. I could be messing her up. Achas lezu, shtayim lezu, shalosh lezu, ve'eser lezu, u'mei lezu, hamuat kosher. So we go by the muat, by the least. Bein m'shem echad, u'bein m'shem shtei mois. And the next mission is going to explain what that means. Whether it comes from 1 chiyuv or 2 chiyuvim, bein misha achas, u'bein m'shtei noshim, whether it's 1 woman or 2 women. Keitzad m'shem echad. What does it mean, 1 name? Leida ve'leida. It doesn't matter if Rachel and Leah both gave birth. Ziva v'ziva. M'shem echad. M'shnei shemois, leida v'ziva. Rachel is a zava. Leah is a yoledes. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is, there's a oila and a chatas in this pair, oila and chatas in this pair. Keitzad mishnei nashim, azu leida, vazu leida. 2 women, one gave birth, one brought on her birth, the other one brought for her own birth. Azu ziva, vazu ziva, and for their own individual ziva. Mishem echad, that's mishem echad. Mishnei shemois, 2 women, 2 shemois, azu leida, vazu ziva. Rabbi Yossi oimer, Shtei noshim shelokchu es kineim be'iruv. 2 women who just bought a bunch of birds, or they just gave a bunch of money to the kohen. The kohen decides what goes where. We finished the Masechta and a Perek in 1 day. All right.